Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this, our first chair yoga session of 2023. And it's a beautiful day, so it's going to be a beautiful class. So to begin with, just getting yourself comfortable on your seat, try to sit to the front of your seat so that you can sit away from the chair back and use your own muscles, your own effort to sit tall. Press your feet down into the floor using a block if you need to, and activate the legs so that you feel that you can draw down with the lower body and draw upwards with the crown of the head, the chest. Let the arms relax and take a moment here just to close your eyes. And as you do that, as you bring yourself into your yoga space, gazing downward if you prefer, you can let the rest of your day, your week, your year this far, just fade into the background a little. And prepare to carve out this next hour just for you. Make a note of how you're feeling in this moment, and that might be emotionally or it might be physically. Those physical feelings are often the more tangible. We can feel areas that feel tight or stiff or uncomfortable. Take a moment to notice at least one space in the body that feels at ease, peaceful, spacious. Take note of how you're breathing in this moment without changing it, just noticing the ebb and flow of your natural breath. Notice the parts of the body that move as you breathe. Note the sensation of the breath, the coolness of air coming in through the nostrils, and the warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. On your next exhalation, gently draw your belly muscles in to exhale just a little deeper, and then you can inhale deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. And exhale a long, slow, deep breath, gently engaging across your belly muscles to exhale completely. Soften the belly as you breathe in, breathing into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. Exhaling long and slow and deep, engaging to exhale completely. Breathing into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out, emptying completely. Taking a few more deeper breaths like this. There can be any rhythm that you choose that works for you. Filling yourself with prana for our practice, energy, vitality. And after your next exhalation, just allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm again, drawing your chin towards your chest. Excuse me. And from this position, finding that gentle length down the back of the neck between the shoulder blades. Rolling your right ear towards your right shoulder, just a gentle, soft movement. Chin back to chest and left ear to left shoulder. And we're going to go from side to side, returning always the chin to the chest and then rolling towards one shoulder or the other. Little semicircle in front of the body. And as you practice this, just becoming aware of the sensations of the movement, the connections between the upper back and the chest, the shoulders and the neck, the jaw, the ear, the scalp, side of the face. Enjoying that sensation in the body. You might like to roll your head in circles, that's entirely optional. But if you want to, you can, just lifting the chin, avoiding dropping the head too far back behind the body. And we'll do 3 circles in each direction for those who are circling, continuing semicircles if you are doing that. Reversing direction when you're ready. Noting where you have maybe a little bit of crunching or grinding, going slower or smaller movements. And the next time your chin comes to your chest, resting there for a moment, finding a soft smile, and it's a fake it till you make it situation. So even if you don't feel particularly happy, having a soft smile, then drawing your head to center, opening your eyes if they've been closed. Fantastic, what a lovely way to start the class. We're going to roll our shoulders. And whilst we're doing this, we still want to have that sensation of pressing the feet to the floor and giving that lift through the crown of the head. We'll roll in the opposite direction as well. And then we're going to do some cleansing breaths. So we're going to do 3, and you can sigh out through your mouth if you like. We'll start with the hands together at the center of the chest. As you breathe in, take the arms out and up, perhaps looking up. And as you breathe out, draw the palms together and down through the center of the body. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in, out and up. And breathing out as you draw the hands down. Last one, breathing in. And breathing out. Relaxing the arms to the side. And we're going to come straight up into standing today. Oh my goodness. So if you have a block, just popping it to one side or on top of your chair. And we're going to move the chairs so we can walk around the chairs. So today we're going to activate our feet by walking on toes, heels, inside and outside edges. And I'd like you to just do your best. So there's no right or wrong here, just do the best you can. If you need the chair for support or a wall, just hang on to something. So here, firming the belly just a little, coming up onto your tiptoes as high as you can, and walking around the space that you've got for yoga. So it doesn't matter if you walk in circles around your chair, as I'm going to, or if you branch out and make a lovely slaloming movement around your furniture or around your room. However you are walking, making sure that you're upright. So we have a tendency to bend forward to look at our feet. There's no knees, they are still at the end of the leg. Standing upright, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, keeping a nice soft bend in the knees and a nice swing to the arms so they stay lovely and relaxed. And when you're ready, you can pause, float your feet to the floor and just take a moment to feel the effect of your practice. So feeling the pads of the toes, the underneath length of the toes, the balls of the feet. And then we'll take our weight onto our heels. And again, just doing the best you can, walking around your yoga space. And so here, we've got a tendency to stick our bottoms out and walk with very straight legs, tiny, tiny steps. So I'd like you to try to stand tall, nice and firm in the belly, and keeping a little softness in the knees and the arms. Make sure you haven't made your fingers really straight as you walk around. And then whenever you're ready, taking a moment to pause, float the toes to the floor and observe the effect of your practice. So observe the effort in the legs, perhaps in the back of the body, in the torso, mostly in the feet, perhaps. And then we're going to turn onto the outside edge of the feet, turning the inner insteps up as much as feels comfortable and walking around. Now, if you find that these bonier bits of the foot are harder to walk on, try walking on a bit of carpet or something soft. Again, taking nice natural steps if you can, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Try not to turn your palms upwards. Try to keep the arms relaxed, hands relaxed. And then pausing wherever you are, just floating the inner foot back towards the floor, making a note of those sensations down the outside edge of the foot. And we'll finish by turning the insteps towards the floor, turning the outer edge of the foot upwards and walking around in circles again, or around yourself. Try to avoid lengthening the arms and turning the palms upwards in your sort of penguin pose. And keeping those knees nice and soft. A little swing of the arms can be helpful here. Whenever you're ready, pausing, floating your foot back to its natural shape against the floor. Taking a moment to stand on your feet and really lift the crown of the head upwards. Make note of how the foot feels. Perhaps there are parts of the foot that you haven't felt for a while or haven't been aware of for a while. And then we're going to do a little bit of moving of our weight across our feet. So you perhaps want your feet just a little bit wider. We can take the hands onto the hips, or you can hold onto your chair if you'd like to, and just sway your weight into your toes a little bit more, and then into the heels. Into the toes and into the heels. Notice what switches on in your body. If you can feel your buttocks firing, your belly muscles, your core muscles, the muscles in the legs, as you move your weight around, you might find that it's easier to do with the arms out to the side. And then trying to find that center space between front and back where the foot is balanced, your weight is balanced across the foot. It's not in the front or the back, it's right in the center. Do the same thing as we sway from side to side. And of course, your muscle memory is bringing all of this back. It will all feel very familiar, even if we haven't been practicing together for the last few months. Little sway from side to side. And again, trying to find that center space between left and right where you sit in the middle, front to back, left to right. And when you get there, spreading your toes out, that means lifting them up and spreading them most of the time. And then focusing on the pad of each toe, the place where the toes join the foot, the ball of the foot, the outside edge, the heel, all of these areas, the foot is moving down. There's a really strong connection. There's a sense of grounding, support from the floor, the earth, the mat, whatever you have. And then rolling your insteps just ever so slightly away from the floor. So we still want all of those connected parts to stay down, no lifting of the toes, but just engaging the insteps. And you'll feel your leg muscles switch on. And then here, keeping a gentle softness in the back of the knee. So we don't want to bend the knees, but we don't want to lock the legs straight either. Gentle softness. The feet pressing down, that center lifting up, find that lift come all the way up the body, engaging the pelvic floor and the abdominal muscles gently, letting the arms rest to the side, maybe turning your palms forward to engage the shoulder blades towards each other, finding length in the back of the neck. And take a moment to either gaze gently downward or close your eyes. Feel the effort of standing in mountain pose, because it is not without effort, but allow it to be a gentle effort, a support. Feel how much space you have to breathe into, how strong and steady you feel here. When you're ready, you can gently relax the shoulders, soften the knees, just allow your body to relax a little bit more, and we're going to shake out. So if you prefer not to shake out, that's fine, just make some gentle undulations. But if you can, shaking out the arms, the wrists, shake the shoulders, shake the hips, shake the legs. Get yourself a real shake going on. And then bring yourself back to steadiness. We're going to do Kati Chakrasana. So I keep moving this chair. I'm actually going to move significantly further away now. There is no hope for us. There is no more chair action. I'm just joking. We will use the chairs a little bit. So feet nice and wide apart. The toes can be slightly turned out if you like, it doesn't matter, do what feels right for your hips. A little soft in the knees, and as you maybe just do a touch of a bounce here, we're going to lift one foot from the floor and then the other. Again, using your chair or wall for support. Just a little soft bounce in the knees as we lift one foot and then the other. And you can see on the screen my whole body weight, sense of weight, center of gravity shifts from one side to the other. We're going to allow this movement to become smaller so that our feet lift a little less until we can land ourselves right in the center. And again, we get that sense of connecting down, that strength and support from below. Soft in the knees, lifting from the center of the foot to the crown of the head, and gently twisting from side to side. And as you gently twist, relaxing the shoulders, let the arms be soft, the elbows can bend, the wrists are relaxed, the fingers lightly curled. Allow your head to follow your movement. You don't need to twist very far. You can make this a really subtle movement if that suits your body. Try to feel the support from the feet pressing into the floor, maybe a little gentle engagement across the buttocks and definitely across the belly. And let the arms wrap the body and tap wherever they finish. Tap the hands on the body wherever they finish. Whenever you're ready, if you would like to, you can pivot on your toes. So just a little pivot, which eases through the hips a little bit more. And finding your way with this. So particularly if there have been changes since the last time you practiced yoga with me, just finding your way, finding what feels good to your body now, in this moment. If you'd like to, you can add a little light bounce of the knees in the center. That's completely optional. Don't do it if it makes your knees feel badly. But if it feels good, have a go of a bounce and twist. And here, trying to avoid bending forward with the torso. Just let the weight settle into the heels a little. Bending just the knees. If it feels good, you can tap the opposite shoulder in front of you, opposite hip behind you, keeping that gentle lift in the belly muscles as well. And we want to find real joy in this. This is an opportunity for us to release some of those burdens that weigh on our shoulders, to wriggle out some of the tension we hold in our bodies, to stir up some energy that might have been sitting for a while. Whenever you're ready, you can let your bounce go and simply pivot. And then allow your feet to find steadiness and lose your momentum a little at a time until you're back to standing steady. As you come to steadiness, take a moment to feel your feet pressing down, feel the crown of the head lifting and lengthening up. Close your eyes or gaze gently downward. Observe the effect of your practice so far. Gentle but profound. When you're ready, you can open your eyes or give the arms another little shake out, maybe a little shrug in the shoulders. For anyone who finds balance is sometimes a bit of a challenge, hang on to your chair for this next practice. We're going to roll one shoulder at a time. So starting with the left side, if you're using a chair, you can of course hold on to it with your right hand. We're going to stand tall, feel that sense of connecting down, lifting up, and then roll the left shoulder. So it doesn't matter what your circling looks like. It could be small and subtle. Remember that we're looking for ease here. So nothing that increases any discomfort in the body. So it can be small enough to just find a sense of ease. If you are finding the shoulder rolling okay, then you can lead with your elbow. You can make your elbow do the circles, or allow your elbow to do the circles, and that frees up that space underneath the arm, across the top of the rib cage there. Very good. If that feels good, you can allow your whole arm to move in the circle. Very good. And here we're just moving the arm, so it's just the shoulder itself working really, and it's quite intense for the shoulder. So if you'd like to, you can press into your feet, firm your belly, and just allow the rest of your body to move with your shoulder. So we want to feel that sense of support from the legs, the feet, and the core, and allow that to afford us the opportunity to move as much or as little as you like. And for those of you who want to give it a little bit more, you can really draw the arm across the body. Find yourself twisting, side bending, back bending, forward bending, all in this one practice. We'll do one more. And then let that arm rest to your side. Observe the difference between the two sides of the body. And then if you're working with your chair, pop it on your other side. And we'll do our right shoulder. So rolling through the right shoulder. Just beginning with this very small, subtle movement. Mobilizing. That's what we're after, mobilizing. If this rolling of the shoulder feels good, then try moving with your elbow. So letting your elbow make the circle, feeling that space underneath the arm. I find it really hard not to let my whole body join in, but it's really good to move the shoulder on its own as well. If that feels good, allow your whole arm to make the movement. And you can have your arm as straight as you like, or softness in the fingers, the wrists and elbows, that's fine too. And even if we just do this, we can feel the increased effort. We can feel the muscles that support the back of the body and the shoulder beginning to fatigue. So if you'd like to, you can firm the belly, firm your feet into the ground, and allow the rest of your body to move as you move. And feel the connections between the movements, the back, the chest, the sides of the body, even the neck. Taking it as slowly as feels useful. And if you want to give it a bit more welly, you can really draw your arm across the body and behind the body. Just doing something that feels supported by the legs, the feet, and the core. And we'll do one more in this direction. Allowing your arm to rest down to your side, taking a moment just to feel the effect of your practice. And I've done this a couple of times already today, but I can really feel that across the upper back. Maybe you can too. We'll shrug the shoulders up to the ears and then just let them drop down. Lovely. Shrug up and drop. And one more. Shrug up and drop. And then give yourself a little dance of the shoulders, if that feels good. We'll take our hands onto our hips. Our feet haven't moved, so they should feel super grounded. And we're going to use them for support to move our pelvises around. So a little soft in the knees, which helps. And you can tuck your tailbone under and then tuck it out the opposite way. Let me turn sideways so it's easier to see. So tucking tailbone under, lengthening that space in the back of the body, and then tucking the tailbone out to lengthen the space in the front of the body. Just backwards and forwards. It doesn't matter if your movement is really subtle here or really small, as long as it feels comfortable. That's what we're after, comfortable movement. So backwards and forwards. And we're just wriggling out. If you've been sitting a lot today, or if you did a lot of walking or standing, then you might find that this is quite nice, just to gently, a standing cat pose, to gently wriggle out. When we come back to center, we're going to gently lift one hip and then the other, going side to side. Very good. And you need to press into your feet to do that. You also need to draw, use these muscles at the side of the body to draw the hip and the shoulder towards each other. But again, going gently. When you're ready, you can do circling of the hips. And we're going to do this two ways. So we're going to do circling of the hips where we try to stay very still from the chest upwards and from the knees downwards. And we can circle in the opposite direction as well. You don't need to do this with your hands. It just helps me. It might help you to try to keep my shoulders still and chest still. Very good. And then we're going to do this movement, but allow the rest of the body to get in on the action. So circling in the first direction, nice and firm in the belly, but allowing the rest of your torso to join in. You might want to straighten your legs at some stages, maybe soften them at other stages. When you're ready, going in the opposite direction. And again, just doing what feels good to you in this moment. Very good. Super. When you're ready, coming back to standing upright. Just going to relax the shoulders again with another little wriggle, relax the wrists, shake out the legs, 1, 2, and we're coming back to sitting just to do a little preparation for some standing work. So I'm going to put my block to one side and come to sit on your chair. And if you prefer, you can do this standing upright. It's not a problem at all. But if you are seated, which I think most of you probably are, we're going to press our feet into the floor to sit really tall. And we're going to lengthen the left leg out in front. So here you might like to hold around the back of your thigh, or you might like to hold your leg in the air, or you might like to rest your foot towards the floor. Whatever works for you. If you want to, you can sit a little bit further back and then the thigh is supported and you don't need to hold your leg off the floor with quite as much effort in your thigh. So here we're going to just make some lovely circles with our ankles. Ooh, and really let the toes spread. Let the foot move as much as it's able to. We're going to go in the opposite direction as well. And because this can be quite tiring to hold the leg in this position, we're going to do one foot and then the other. So when you're ready, you can let this leg relax and that thigh can rest. And we'll lengthen the right and we'll do our circling with the right side. And at the same time, trying to sit nice and tall, create a little bit of space. Trying not to slump, we'll go in the opposite direction. Finding that space between the toes. Oh, nice, rolling through the ankle. Now ankles and foot mobility make a big difference. Let's relax that foot down. To the way that our body moves, particularly the longer we've been walking on our feet. So this time we're going to stretch the left leg out in front, just point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. And just doing, you don't need to point all of the way, try to avoid getting cramp, just a little bit. And relax down, then the same thing on the other side. Pressing down with the left foot so that you can stay sitting tall as you extend the right leg, point and flex. Point and flex. Good job. I think we'll do one more and relax. Very good. So now we're going to sit a little bit further back on our seats. And for me, that means my feet are nearly off the floor, but just work with what you've got. So we want to not relax back into our seats here. We want to still sit up nice and tall, but we don't have quite as much purchase on the floor. You might need to be on the toes of your right foot to sit tall, and we're bending and stretching the leg. So bending and stretching the left leg, excuse me. Bending and stretching the left leg. You don't have to make it absolutely straight. It's just a way to lubricate the knee joint. So it doesn't matter how bent or how stretched. We'll do one more on this side and then swap around. I've got my toes on the floor with the left foot and bend and stretch the right leg. Bend and stretch. You can feel underneath your hands, your quadriceps particularly working, but as you feel them relaxing, the hamstrings on the other side of the leg work as well. Very good. And then bringing yourself a little bit further forward in your seat So we still want quite a lot of purchase with the buttocks. I'm going to take the feet apart, let the knees be bent, and just let the ankles roll again. But this time we've got the knees rolling in and out. So we want softness in the knees so that as we circle our feet on the heels of the feet, we get this rolling in and out. We can go the opposite way as well if it feels good. And that's a way that we can lubricate and massage the hip joint as well. Very good. Without loading it, you know, there's no effort in this. When you're ready, you can bring your feet back towards you. And then sitting towards the edge of your seat. In fact, we're going to shift ourselves so that we're sitting towards the left side of the seat. So your right buttock and leg are much more supported. Your left buttock might be just ever so slightly off the seat. And then press down with the right foot. We're going to lift the left knee up and then take the foot out to the side and place the foot down. And then lift the left knee up and place the foot back to center. So lifting up and out, up and back. And you can use your right hand on your seat for a little bit of support, lifting in your belly muscles. And if this movement doesn't suit you, don't do it, absolutely, but do one more. Fantastic. Let's shift ourselves to the other side. And that's just, we shift just to give ourselves a little bit of extra room. As I said, you can hold on with your opposite hand, press the left foot into the floor, lift up and move your right foot out to the right, lift up and back to center. Very good. Excellent stuff. I can see the concentration on the faces. We'll just do a couple more of these. Last one. Very good. You can shift yourself back to center now. And while we're here, let's take the feet nice and wide apart, sitting towards the front of your seat, but making sure you've got enough purchase in your buttocks there. We're going to take a cleansing breath and come into a forward fold as well. So we want enough of the weight, enough of the, maybe even the upper thighs on the chair, just so you can fold forward, but not come off the chair. So pressing the feet down, sit really tall, breathing in, taking the arms out and up, drawing the hands down as you exhale, and then let your breath find its natural rhythm. Take the hands to the tops of the thighs and slide the hands forward. You can round through the spine if it makes, if that feels good to you. You can hinge forward from the hips if you prefer. Coming into a forward bend that feels good, relax the back of the neck. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're going to take the hands to the top of the knees, scoop the belly in, round through the spine. Come up to sitting again. Fantastic. We'll do it one more time because it's been a while since we've done that one. So pressing the feet down, sit tall, breathing in, taking the arms out and up. Breathing out, bringing the palms down through the center of the chest. Take the hands to the tops of the thighs. Just breathe normally as you slide forwards. All the way to wherever all the way is for you. Relax the back of the neck. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then hands onto the knees so that you can scoop the belly in. Use the arms as leverage to come back up to an upright position. And when you do, just take a moment to wriggle your shoulders. Fantastic. So from here, we're going to stand up, but we're going to do our sit to stand series. So those who've been to class before will know this. This is a bit like squatting, but for chair yogis who are strong in their lower bodies. So we want to have the feet directly underneath the knees, not behind the knees, makes it really hard. Not in front of the knees, makes it almost impossible. So feet underneath the knees. As you look down, hopefully you can see your big toes. That's what we want. The feet can be as wide apart as feels good to you, but probably not wider than your chair. Then we want to firm the belly, press the feet down, and we're going to reach the hands forward and just hover the bottom of the chair and then sit the bottom back down again. And it doesn't matter if it takes a little jolting to get up, but if you feel like your chair's going to move, you can place it up against your wall so that it can't move back from behind you. So firm in the feet, firm in the belly, just taking a moment to tip the weight onto the feet and then sit back onto your chair. Press your feet down as you hover and release. Hover and release. Let's do one more hovering. Hover and release. You can feel your legs really supportive there. Take just a moment here. We'll do a cleansing breath, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, so this time we're going to come all the way up to standing. So we're going to hover and then press into the legs to reach the arms up, and then let the arms come down to the side. And then we're going back to sitting again. So we'll reach the hands forward at the same time, bend the knees, lift the belly, lengthen your tailbone back behind you, feet stay where they are, gently release back onto your seat. Perfect. So let's do two more like this. So firm in the belly and the feet, hover as you reach forward, then press into the legs, into the feet to reach up. Arms come all the way around the body and down. And then reaching the hands forward, bending the knees, taking your tailbone back as you lift your belly and gently bring your seat back to the seat. Last time, but this time we're going to stay upright. So feet and belly, hover, press into your feet, come all the way up, reaching up, and then let the arms come down to the sides of the body. And here, just taking a moment to free the feet from the floor and give the legs a little bit of a shake. Fantastic stuff. We're going to move to the back of our chairs for this next part of our practice. And we're going to do a little, so we've worked before, I'm wondering how much further forward I need to be. We've worked before with downward facing dog and lunges, warrior one. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. So we're going to start at the chair, and we can, and of course, if you are used to doing standing practice, you're welcome to do this as a standing practice. So from here, we want to step back with our left foot as far as it naturally goes, and take your heel to the floor as well, so that you get a little shift of your hips to a diagonal position. So you don't need to square the hips straight, because that puts a little twist through the pelvis. We can allow the hips to fall in this diagonal position. The important thing is that you feel supported on your feet and you haven't stepped one foot behind the other. They're still side by side. So as you look between your feet, still side by side. We've got that strong connection into the floor, and we're going to use the chair, if you would like, with your right hand. Bend the right knee and press the left heel into the floor at the same time. So there's a sense of descending between the 2 feet rather than traveling forward over the front foot. So we're going to lengthen the right leg and bend the right knee, press into the left heel at the same time. Very good. One more, lengthen the right leg, then bend the right knee, press into the left heel at the same time. Here, when you get into this position, just do a little tilt of the pelvis backwards and forwards and find your neutral spot where your pelvis is not tilted backwards or forwards, but in the center. You can leave your right hand on your chair ahead of you if you'd like. We're going to firm the belly and we're going to reach the left arm all the way up. Take it around the side of the body. As we do, we turn through the torso to maybe look slightly behind and take the arm down to the side. Now, if your whole arm doesn't want to do this, you can do this with just your shoulder. Okay, but we'll do 3 more, pressing into the feet so the right knee is still bent, the left heel is still on the floor, and you can see the right toes. With the right big toe, we're reaching the left arm up. As the arm comes behind the body, just let that open your chest. Use your right hand on your chair for support if you need to. And we'll do 2 more. As I say, you can do it with just your shoulder, or just your elbow, or your whole arm. Last one. Very good. Super. When you're ready, you can bring the left hand towards your chair as well. I'd like you to peel your left heel off the floor, so you're on your tiptoes, and then we're going to turn the hips to face the chair, soften both knees, so you get a bit of a bounce, and then step your left foot forward. There's a patch of sunshine on the floor there, so apologies if that's confusing. When you come into your standing posture, we're going to come to do a downward facing dog, but with the chairs. So hands on the chairs, stepping your feet back, taking your feet about hip width, shoulder width apart is fine. Trying to lengthen your tailbone behind you, lifting your belly muscles, soft in the knees. So we don't want to lengthen the back of the legs here. We're just looking for a little sway of the hips from side to side. Little sway of the hips from side to side, or it might be that you feel that you can lengthen one leg and then the other, bending one knee and then the other. If you want to, you can also look with your head from side to side. Keep pressing the hands into the chair so that arms and hands are active here. You're not just hanging in space. Very good. And then when you're ready, you can come to center, press into your hands, look forward, and gently walk yourself back to your chair seat. I'm going to turn my chair to the other side, so it's easier for you guys to see, but we're just doing the other side now. So take a moment in your standing pose first to feel the firmness in the feet and the lift through the body. And then when you're ready, you can step the right foot back as far as feels comfortable. Make sure that both heels are on the floor. You've maybe got that gentle turn of the pelvis to face a little angular there. So here you can keep the left hand on the floor, on the chair, and we can bend the left knee as we press into the right heel at the same time. So as we practice that one, we're not traveling forward over the left leg. We're just sinking down between the two legs, bending into the left knee, pressing into the right heel. And you can see your left big toe, or where it would normally be, as you look down past your left knee. So we are going to do this a couple more times. There we are. Bending the left knee, pressing into the right heel, and then releasing. And one more time like this, bending, pressing, coming into this warrior one stance with the legs. And when you're in your warrior one stance, we're going to use that right arm. So reaching the right arm forward, nice and firm in the belly, the buttocks, the legs, reaching the right arm all the way back behind you, maybe opening the chest, and then forwards again. Reaching in nice big circles. I think we did 4 of these. So we're going to do 4. If you need to do this circling with just your shoulder instead of with your whole arm, that's okay. I can hear my knee making funny noises. So if that's the case, activate your feet, activate your legs, activate your belly muscles, support wherever you can. When you've finished doing 4 big arm circles, you can place your right hand back to the chair, come onto the ball of your right foot and square your hips back to the chair. So lifting the heel allows you to do that. Nice and buoyant in the knees here. You can even move the weight backwards and forwards a little bit. And when you're ready, step both feet to the front. We'll do one more of those downward facing dogs. So reaching your, walking your feet back behind you, nice and wide. You can even take your feet a little bit wider this time, which is quite nice. And then lengthening your tailbone back, lifting in the belly, pressing the hands down, and then nice and soft in the knees as you sway the hips from side to side. So bending one knee and then the other. Hips swaying from side to side. Again, if you like to, you can turn your head from side to side. And this slightly wider stance in the downward dog allows us to get to parts that we can't reach with the feet more narrow. When you're ready, you can come back to center. We're going to look towards the seat, nice and firm in the belly as we walk the feet back in. And we will take a moment for a cleansing breath. So I'm going to step away from my seat to do that, but you might like to stay close to your chair. So breathing in, taking the arms out and up, lifting in the chest, and breathing out, bringing the hands down through the center to the chest. Very good. Relax the arms, give the legs a little bit of a shake. We're moving towards relaxation. So from here, you might want to have your block or book to put underneath your feet and a blanket perhaps to hand, or a jumper. Whatever feels good to you. Pair of socks, almost certainly going to be the thing to have today. So before we get to there, we're going to come to sitting on our seats and adjusting clothing as needed, and just do a little twisting pose and perhaps forward bend to finish. So bringing your feet as close towards each other as they can get, and your knees as well. That's the important thing. If you are comfortable, you might want to cross your ankles or left knee over right knee. So you're actually sitting with crossed legs. Whichever of these feels good, but we're doing left over right for if you're crossing ankles or knees. I'm going to do it with my knees together. And we want to have a purchase with the buttocks and maybe just the tops of the thighs on the seat. Press your feet down into the floor, activate your legs so you can sit really tall, take your arms nice and wide. We're going to take the right hand across the body to the left thigh or left waist if you like, and reach the left hand behind you to your chair back or your chair seat, whichever feels good. You can leave it in the air, just reaching the fingertips if you like. Press into the feet to feel that lift, and then just gently turning your chest towards the left. We don't need to go far, as long as it feels comfortable. You can maybe ease yourself just a touch further around. A nice and firm, gentle but firm lift in the belly, and then turning your head as far as feels comfortable for your neck towards the left. We're going to hold this for 3 long, deep breaths. Soften your shoulders, your forehead, your jaw. After your next exhalation, inhale as you turn your head to the front. Relax the hands from what they're holding and turn them across the body, so you turn a little to the right and back to the center. And then here we're going to take a moment to move the body in a different shape. So taking the feet nice and wide, again with plenty of purchase of your behind on the chair. We have the knees moving outwards. They don't have to, so you can do this with your feet pointing straight, but if it's comfortable, knees pointing outwards, feet pointing outwards. We're going to sit tall, and we're going to take the left forearm to the left thigh. It could be the hand, but the forearm's quite good, so we lean a little bit to the left, slightly diagonal side bend, and we're just going to reach the right arm up and over, and we're going to reach that right arm back to the side. So we're going to do this just 3 times. Firm in the belly. You can even look to the right if that feels comfortable. And this time, as we reach that right hand up and over, we're going to let the arm keep going up and over, reaching towards the left knee. So we turn the whole body over the left leg, and we're going to take the right forearm to the right thigh, or if it's hands. And then here, just do a little shimmer of the body from side to side. So we're in a slight forward bend here. It's actually quite a big forward bend. We've got the feet working, the belly working, and just moving the shoulders from side to side. When you're ready, you can place your hands onto your knees. Use the hands as leverage to come up to sitting. We'll bring the knees together again, nice and firmly together. This time, if you're crossing ankles, it's right ankle over left, or right knee over left if you are crossing knees, which I'm not doing. So pressing your feet into the floor, lift in the belly, reach the arms nice and wide. We're going to take the left arm to the right thigh, and then take the right arm behind, either to reach in the fingertips, to hold the back of the seat, or the chair of the seat, seat of the chair, doesn't matter. Press your feet down, lifting up, lifting in the belly, and gently using your arms to turn into the right side. Here, if it feels good, you can just give yourself a little bit of extra twist, but don't if it doesn't. Turning the head towards the right as well. We're going to soften our shoulders down, soften the face, and take 3 deep breaths. After your next exhalation, breathing in as you turn your head to the front, and releasing the hands, unwinding the spine and turning a little to the opposite side and back to the center. As we come back to center, relaxing the legs a touch, taking the feet again wide or into the same sort of position as you had before, making sure you've got plenty of purchase with the buttocks and perhaps the upper thighs. Sitting tall to begin with, then taking the right forearm to the right thigh. As we do this sort of diagonal side bend, we're going to reach the left arm up and over, and then back to the left side. We'll do that 2 more times. Reaching up, you can even look to the left if it's comfortable for your neck. Perhaps you just look forward or down. Reaching the left arm up and over. This time we're going to let the left arm keep going. So it doesn't have to be the arm. It could just be the shoulder. But keep going to the left. So we end up turning the torso across. Keep going to the right. So we end up turning this torso across the right leg and coming to the center with the forearms onto the legs. This time we're going to place the hands on the knees, roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lift in the belly, and again do a little gentle pressing from side to side. So we, like a snake, like a cobra doing a dance. Very good. In the center, we're going to actually fold all the way forward. So releasing the legs down towards the floor, relaxing the back of the neck, just giving yourself the opportunity for a gentle nod and a very gentle shake of the head. Then when you're ready, you can bring your hands to your thighs and knees again, and then round through the spine, scoop the belly in, let the head hang till the last moment, coming up to sitting. And when you come to sitting, if you're dizzy, just bring your hands to Namaste. Take a moment with your chin forward. And if you're okay, then you can breathe in, take the arms out and up, lifting your chest. That's good. I see most people are okay. And then bring your hands down through the center of your chest to Namaste, to this gesture. And we'll bow our chin to our chest for a moment. Gentle smile. And when you're ready, you can raise your head, release your hands, release your legs back to center, and prepare for relaxation. So if there's any other movements your body really needs to do, if you want to do a little bit of a wriggle, if you need to release your neck, then feel free to move in a way that feels good. Sometimes it can be good to sort of give the shoulders a bit of a roll. And then warmth is important. So for anyone who wants to do relaxation on the floor or lying on a couch or a bed, then take the opportunity. There's no need to do it sitting on the chair unless that suits you particularly well. I might just move this up a little bit today. It's cooler here than I had anticipated. Ha! There we are, completely covered. But for relaxation, we want to sit all the way back into the seat. So really releasing the weight of the body against the back of the chair for the first time in this class. And we're going to rest the hands wherever is comfortable. It doesn't matter if it's palms up or palms down or hands in the lap or dangling by your sides, whatever works for you. Take a moment just to press your feet downwards and really release the back of the body into your seat and soften your shoulders And if you'd like to, you can close your eyes. Focus your awareness on how your body feels in this moment. Areas where you feel perhaps the effort of practice or warmth or tingling. Areas where you feel the release of tension, softness or spaciousness, length. When you're ready, you can take a long, deep breath in, sighing out as you exhale. Repeat that 3 more times. A long, deep breath in. Let all of your effort go. Long, deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. Last deep breath in. And surrender your weight down into the floor, the seat, and back into your chair. Allow your breath to find its natural, spontaneous rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften, the space between the eyebrows spreading. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Allow the whole of the body to be heavy, warm, supported, releasing back and down. Move your awareness to your breathing and gently deepen your breath. Breathing in for the count of 4. And out for the count of 4. Breathing in for 4. And out for 4. Breathing in light, energy, and harmony. Breathing out tension, fatigue, discomfort. Breathing in light, energy, and harmony. Breathing out tension, fatigue, and discomfort. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm whenever you're aware of it, softening a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to bring your awareness back to this time and this place. Bring your awareness into your fingers and your toes by wriggling the fingers and toes, maybe rolling the wrists, the ankles. In your own time, take a deep breath in and stretch the arms, the legs, maybe stretch the face of the yawn. Oh, do that wriggling, stretching, that pandiculation through the body, so good at releasing tension. When you're ready, you can gather your hands towards your chest, resting them on the center of the chest. Keeping the eyes gently closed, just to contain that sense of stillness, peace, calm within. Then take a moment to find something joyful. It could be just this hour of practice you've devoted to your well-being, the time spent with the friends that we have in this community of chair yogis, the sharing of our energy. It could be that there's something amazing just happened or that you're looking forward to. Whatever it is that brings you joy, let that joy start in your heart and blossom onto your face as a gentle smile. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I hope you've enjoyed our first session of the year, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.